We'll shortly be talking about what egg does in our meals, how economical it is, and all the health benefits. But first, let's look at whether you have ever imagined a school without teachers. That would be amazing. Well, we continue with our citizen journalist reports under the Joy News and Star Ghana project, Poverty and Politics. And this time, our citizen journalist, Nanaya Edusi Pokua, reports from Komanda in Bunahaf region about a school that has no teachers. Parents are forced to take their children along with them to the farm and markets as the only school in the community lacks teaching staff.
And that can be found in the Kintampo South District. Basic necessity of life come as a luxury to majority of the people. There are about 150 children in the community of Komanda. The children in Komanda are compelled to travel long kilometers for lessons, with many of them unable to enjoy the food stalls. They give up on the pursuit of their dreams. It is not just the children of Komanda who are worried. Parents and local authorities are equally frustrated. Fusena Badagos never attended a school. Her determination to get quality education for her children is fast becoming a mirage.
We have a lot of children. They do not go to school because there are no teachers in the school. I have never been to school, but I want my children to go to school, so they will be in a position to take care of me in future. Help us get teachers here.
The Konkoma chief of Komanda says politicians have not fulfilled their promise of helping them to get teachers posted to the village.
The school is very important to the community. We need help with the school. During the 2012 campaigns, they promised to get us teachers, but they did not fulfill their promise. We hired a private teacher, but we couldn't pay him, so he stopped.
How to me back.
Joseph Bongo is assemblyman for Apesika East. He says the future does not look bright for some of the children of Komanda.
Government put up the school about 6 years ago. Residents of Komanda have voted for the NDC since 1992. After 6 years of the construction of the school, we do not have teachers. There are more than 150 children in Komanda. Parents are compelled to take their children to the farm. The schools in adjoining towns are miles away. The future looks bleak for most of them. We are calling on government for help.
Now here work commander ha. Our munama our force were fum. Uncle no enye baby uncle. If we are echo adijamakuno 14 kilometers. If we echo pescanso ye 12 kilometers. Uncle and intimate casa clino. Uncle guha. Omunya teacher ni manenchra omadi. If you say hawa bribino edebebre. Uncle and nyini abaya kronfo sebe mprebiasa ebinumba ya an Roberts ne ade enti ye de ade srede eto abanyanim se o ma yetiche animu ya ewo komanda sebe ya ankula no o mo so betimi anya nwumasua ewo komanda ha ama Ghana man se nipa ba ko ebe ya kronfo a ha kro no nyina eme ha komanda afo nko a ye de ade srede eto abanyanim se o ma ye bibi mpa komanda.
This is a citizen journalist report by Nanaya Edusi Pokua with support from Star Ghana.
So today we are playing a game of politics. It's called the Vortex Compacts. Here's how it works. It will reveal your real political affiliation. You may be rooting for MPP or NDC or even the CPP today, but indeed you may be another party at heart. It's fun, but it also helps us to understand our political ideologies better and improves the electoral process. The program itself is coming off at the University of Professional Studies. Evans Mensah is the host of that show. He joins me via phone. Good evening to you, Evans. What's this all about?
Well, it's going to be one of those experiences that we have to literally see how it goes, because it hasn't been tried before. It's the first time we are looking at Ghana. It's one of the compacts. In essence, this is developed by report from what you call the Ghana Oil and Gas for Inclusive Growth.
Evans, can you position yourself well? There's a lot of wind where you are.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
It's better now.
Okay. So I'm just talking about the Vortex Compacts. It's something that hasn't been done before. So we have to live through it to experience, But based on the planning.
What do you call it? The GOGIC, the Ghana Oil and Gas for Inclusive Growth, that essentially okay. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, so I'm just talking about the Vortex Compacts. It's something that hasn't been done before, and so we have to live through it to experience, But based on the planning and the preparation that we've put into this already, it's shaping up to be a pretty exciting show. In essence, what a Vortex Compass is, just like any compass, you want to know which political party policies, in this case on oil and gas, best aligns with your own hopes and aspirations. Now, they've designed this particular software, which is based on it's an online platform where you go through a series of questions, and then at the end of it, it generates for you the political party you are most aligned with. And this is interesting. Most of us haven't heard a manifestos think, oh yeah, having heard this, I know where I stand on December 7th. But when you go through the Voters Compass with all its algorithms, it then will tell you in reality which party really you align with. And that is a shock. I went through it myself today and I was surprised. We'll be revealing the details on the live show once it starts at 5:30. But this is in essence what it is. But we were just focusing on the oil and gas policy. So on the program we have political representatives who themselves will go through the software and interact with it, and they themselves will discover whether they themselves understand what their policies are and which of the parties they themselves are aligned with.
Thing you're going to be doing. Evans, if you can hear me, how are the people responding to this thing about to happen shortly? Hello, Evans. Well, I think you're having a problem reaching Evans, but certainly it's going to be a very interesting stuff, thinking that you belong to the NDC or MPP, and in fact your ideology is pointing that you belong to the PNC. That's going to be very amazing voters compacts to deal with, and that comes up on Ghana's Connect shortly, some few hours from now. But we take a break on the pulse. When we come back, we'll be taking you through this voters compact and show you how it really works. You'll be amazed which party you really belong to. So it is called the Voters Compacts, and you may belong to MPP or NDC, but in ideologies you may actually be leading or having some sympathy for the PNC, and you never know. Let's see how this Voters Compacts works, and Jennifer Kwamwa joins me to show us how the system works. I can see oil matters, amplifying oil and gas issues in Ghana, 2016 elections. Of course, that's going to be the key topic for Ghana Connect few hours from now. Let's see how the system works.
So let's just take the quiz right now. Pressing take quiz. Nice. Okay, great. So now it'll give you a set of options. The question: revenue accrued from the oil and gas sector should be invested in agriculture. Agree, indifferent, disagree. I agree. So I'm pressing. Yes. Okay,
No.
then.
Press it again.
I should press it
I
again.
think you should press again.
Okay. Now oil revenue should be invested in the roads and highways. It's several different options. Okay, I still agree, so I am agreeing. Let's see if I find something that I'm indifferent to. Oil revenue should be used for capacity building of the Ghanaian populace. I agree with that one too, so there we go.
Oil revenue should be used for capital expenditure. You agree to that as well?
Yeah, I agree to that.
So the options are three. I agree, indifferent, or disagree. So depending on which one you choose, that will give you the results, or that will show you which party you belong to. So far, you've agreed to all the questions.
To everything so far. So let's see.
Now it says oil revenue should be used to invest in education and training institutes.
It's difficult to disagree with an option like that. So here I am. I am agreeing again.
Okay, so you agree.
As you can see, I'm so okay.
And the next question that comes says, use oil and gas revenues for industrialization. And what's your answer? You agree to that as well. I think, okay.
Okay, great.
And then the next one is use oil and gas revenue to invest in health and housing.
I cannot be indifferent to issues of health and housing because they're so key in this country. Okay, so I've just done it one tap. Great.
Okay, so let's see this question. A reserve account, that's an annual budget funding account, should be created for the oil revenue to be kept in. Agree, indifferent, disagree, agree. Whoa.
Agree. Let's see.
Okay,
so please, I should select my region. So let's wait for it to scroll down.
To pop up.
Okay, so
Greater Accra region is your region. How do you want the oil revenue to be spent?
And here you have to write something. So I will just write. Let's see. Wisely. Wait. Oh, it's a very sensitive screen, so I should be very careful when I'm typing.
Okay, right.
For future. Okay, let me rather make it wise investments for future generations. So there we go. So let's see where I belong with my political ideology.
Wisely invest.
No, wise investments.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just edit.
Investment
for. Right. There. Future.
Wise investment for future generations. I think it's okay.
Yep.
Okay, so now let's send and see our results. Okay, so it's processing. We'll get the results now. So you are 40% in agreement with the CPP. And so what do you say to this?
Well, actually, I've always agreed with the ideology of the CPP. I will not lie about that. I think maybe because my dad was a very strong CPP
person,
you
have some sympathy.
Yes, so I do agree.
So this turns out to be very accurate, this Vortex Compass. And
at least in my case. At least in
your case. And I've seen two other people who did it, and it worked perfectly. So I'm tempted to believe that, I mean, the efficiency is higher than the deficiency. And it's going to be very interesting this evening. And I urge you to watch out for Ghana Connect. They're going to be discussing oil and gas matters, and that will be translated into which party you really belong to. You may not be a staunch MPP member as you think. Let's see who you belong to. Take a break on the Pulse. We'll be back shortly. And it's the Pulse. Let's zoom on the Pulse. Finance Minister to seek Parliament's approval to spend in the first quarter of next year, but the Speaker is still worried about the attendance to the business of the House by MPs. Meanwhile, low attendance in Parliament by MPs is hampering smooth consideration of business before the House. Majority of members of Parliament are in their constituencies campaigning ahead of the December 7 general elections. Minority Leader Oseche Mensah Bonsu wants the House to devise strategies to deal with this problem.
In the period of the anchor leg, we rather to intensify our activities to unseat this administration. And we intend to do that because we believe that Ghanaians certainly cannot afford to live under such a system again. But having said so, Mr. Speaker, I think it's imperative that we do a better structuring of the attendance. And before the majority that came in, the plan was made that we should have a joint caucus meeting, and the deputy majority that was indicating that it could hold maybe on Thursday. Perhaps we better bring it forward to about Tuesday, just to improve on because certainly
the people must be here to attend the joint caucus.
That's what I'm saying. If the signal is sent,
yes.
If the signal is sent today, then maybe Tuesday we can have that. Otherwise, if you should go to Thursday, it continues. Half the time, half the duration would have expired. Because looking around, I'm not seeing more than 40 of us in the chamber, which means that even the ordinary quorate number is not present. And technically it will be difficult to even continue business. But I guess we'll live with it for the time being and resolve to improve attendance.
Majority Leader Alban Bagbe also wants MPs to show more commitment to the business of the House.
Get into elections, it's always extremely difficult to get the attendance in any appreciable numbers. And so we are facing the same challenge. And I do agree that the responsibility is more on those of us who are in government. But at the same time, since it's a parliamentary duty, it's not true. Since it's a duty of all members of Parliament to transact parliamentary business, which includes business at the constituency, it's usually very difficult now to balance the equation. You recall that when we are a bit distant from election, the focus is always on parliamentary business. But when we're closer to elections, the focus shifts to the constituency business, and that explains this. But all the same, once we decided to come, and Mr. Speaker summoned all of us, it is our duty to be here for just these few days, and then to move on to the constituency. I will want to propose, Mr. Speaker, that we hold some joint caucus meeting, and then we issue a statement to members. I think that could help. I also acknowledge the fact that today is Friday, and usually Fridays are not very good sitting days for members because of the other compelling reasons. And I just met some members outside who are rushing to their constituencies to attend to some very important traditional duties. So we acknowledge our feelings, but the reality is that it's not easy balancing the equation. We are running doesn't encourage opposition. They are in the minority, and we'll be working together. It's an all-inclusive system, and we'll be working together. And so I can see the edge to come to power. Unfortunately, they are not ready yet. They are not ready yet. I hope that they'll put their house in order to convince Ghanaians that they are ready, but not now. And so we'll be here in January together, and we'll still work. But Mr. Speaker, really, we'll send the word. And usually when you call joint caucus meeting, there are other matters to discuss. And that is the reason that will attract members to attend the joint caucus meeting. And then we'll definitely brief members on other issues apart from the issue of attendance to the House. So I think that Tuesday we should meet to look at this matter seriously.
Whilst you are waiting.